Hi everyone. Here's my screencast for my final project. I actually ended up changing my entire topic. I was having a bit of trouble doing research, and I actually went to one of my supervisors speaking about the project. And in tune, she actually told me about a conference that she went to that went in detail on student engagement and what they're trying to do through the use of campus labs and other website like that. And that kind of inspired me to change up my whole topic and just focus more on student engagement and what we can do at higher education institutions to better its use for students. So here's just a quick table of contents. I go into actually trying to define what student engagement is, looking at how social media has been used in higher ed, also looking at just overall technologies in the world we live in today and how those are being implemented. And then the very last part of the PowerPoint is using campus labs and what we do at Stony Brook specifically with our students. Um, this is my student engagement slide. In doing my research, I realized that there really wasn't one set definition of student engagement. Different resources and different sites had different things. So I kind of pulled what I felt was the most relevant for my research and what I see on a daily basis working with students. And in my research, like I mentioned for the next slide, I have found a very nice source that kind of had student engagement broken down into different types of engagement, depending on how you're trying to engage your students. So, social, physical, behavior, and intellectual. For the majority of the presentation, we're focusing more on the social aspect of student engagement, but I definitely think the intellectual, behavior, and physical, and all the other parts of student engagement or of student engagement are very important as well. Then I go into talking about the rise of social media in higher ed. I think in the last 20 years, you've definitely seen more and more students and more faculty overall, and everyone just using technology a lot more. Which led me to a study that shows based on different age demographics who uses social media, how often they use it daily, weekly, etc., etc. And I focused on the 18 to 29-year-old individuals because those are the individuals you would say are traditional college age. And as you can see, they use social media more than any other groups with extremely high percentages, with YouTube and Facebook being the highest. Also, to coincide with these new social medias, we've also had a plethora of new technologies that are available to students who have access to higher education. You can go around campus and see students with laptops, phones, desktops. Even students have access to use sync sites and go on online even if they don't have access to a computer, so they can still stay connected. So we have students who are constantly connected all the time, and as institutions, I believe we need to take advantage of this new phenomena. And I'll just read this out loud. With the rise of social media and technologies that surround it, universities must bridge the gap between themselves and their students by meeting them on mediums that they most frequently use, or by introducing new mediums that are easy to use and beneficial for both parties. So I believe all of the social media that currently exists, like your Facebook, Snapchat, and Instagram, they are used by such a large group of people that one, we should definitely get onto those as well and meet our students there and provide them with information in ways that they can also see it because they're on social media so well. But I think introducing new mediums that are either university sponsored or university specific can kind of tailor to what we're looking for because students are so involved with social media. If we give them another platform to use that they can see as somewhat beneficial, that can also help us engage the students even more, which will tie into how I'm going to go into start talking about campus labs. I haven't gotten to this part of the presentation yet. However, I want to go deeper into like what campus labs is, who they are, and what type of resources that they have to use on campus. Here on our campus, we use campus labs for SB Engaged, working with all the clubs and organizations, the office that I work in. And I also want to go into the Cork app and all the different implementations that SB Engaged and Cork and Campus Lab have done all in the last year, but also in this upcoming year as well. Like I mentioned, my supervisors gave me a lot of info on where they want to see the app go and where they want to see SB Engaged go. And I think this year we're going to be using a lot more features to make going to events and having student engagement be a lot easier on campus. Because we never want students to go around and say there's nothing to do on campus, and students always have an opportunity to be engaged when they're here at Stony Brook. And that's about it. Hope you guys enjoy.